This, you'll have an individualized calendar for your classes. This is just a template, so just an example that you can see, like the reminders, your classes, all these days. If you've got, if there's like concerts coming up, that'll be in your calendar. If there's vacation days, that stuff will be in there. Any little changes of something, if a class gets rescheduled or whatever, that'll be in the calendar, so you can always have that. Again, if you have like if you have a phone that has internet capabilities, you can sync that to your phone, which is right there too. And I'll help you with that if you need it. Got the phone for the office, email to get a hold of us. I forgot to make that an actual link, but I'll make that very quick email. So we can do that. This little Twitter thing, we're using that, kind of testing it out. It's not really something that teachers are going to use. It's just going to be a quick, easy way for us to post generalized updates about the company to teachers. So if they want to follow that, like right now, the latest one says registration is now open for the 2009-2010 school year. It's just a quick, easy way for us to get that out to a bunch of people without sending 5,000 emails and hoping that all the servers work and stuff. So, you don't really, you can just kind of look at that every now and again if you want to. It's not going to pertain to you guys that much. Each, actually I think that's everything on the home page. Each on the left sidebar here, you can see, and I might make that a little bit bigger, but you've got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday class. You go to any of those pages, and you basically have up here the roster for that class. Just a link. You click on it, you can just print that right there. So that's the roster you would take to class. Now the thing that's a little bit weird, you're not going to be, last year, if you guys were here with us last year, we were using Google Docs, and you would put, you would actually go into Google Docs and click all that stuff, and it was kind of, it worked okay. It paved the way for what we're doing now, but it's a little bit smoother now. You would just print that out, take that to class, fill it out, bring it home, go online, and then on the left here, you've got, of course, students will have actual names, not student 1, student 2. All you have to do for the basic role is just check if they're present or not. So I put a ton of students on there, just check a few of them. Scroll down. If you got a 30-student class. Usually it's not going to be that long, so like you get this down, you check them. If they're there, if they're not there, leave it blank, click submit, that's it. If you have a phone that can do it on the internet, you can do it right from the phone. That's on all your pages, so that's the roster. It'll be individualized on each page for that class. To the right, you've got the student class issues form. It's the same one essentially on all your pages. They just put one on there just to have it there. This is how you're going to handle a lot of things that aren't urgent. If you had a really serious thing happen in class, you want to call us immediately. If it's anything really urgent, I think it's kind of, most of that's going to be common sense. If it feels like it's something you need to get a hold of us, phone call's the best way to do it. Text message too for any of us works good. How many of you guys are okay with text too? Pretty much, majority of you? Okay. So you can do that way, but if it's something that's a little bit more basic, kid needs a book, or like the boss needs a book, needs a new one, there's actually a bunch of different issues here. If it's a new student, it's not on your roster. If it's a student that dropped and returned their instrument, didn't return their instrument, some of you hasn't been there for more than 3 times, 3 consecutive absences, you want to let us know that. You don't necessarily have to do a 911 emergency call to us about it, but you let us know in this, and we're going to be monitoring all these. You just come in here, select the date, month, the month it occurred, the day it occurred, and I'll probably make that a little bit smoother than it is right now. Try to minimize that.
Do you think we should let that news and just kind of what the procedure is, like what we're going to do on our end?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. So you just basically, you would come in here, whatever the scenario is. We're going to go over the different ones. Fill out the day, the month, which class it's for, and then put in the student and the first and last name that it pertains to. Then you've got this drop-down menu. I'll add more to this, but right now you've got new student, drop student who returned their instrument, drop student who didn't return an instrument, more than 3 consecutive absences, behavior problem, student given a book and they need to be charged for it. No issues to report at all. This will be a weekly thing. Even if you have no issues whatsoever, you still just got to let us know everything's running smooth. The thing. Once you work with it for a few minutes, it's really quick to fill out. If you need equipment or materials for class, so you got a snake cable, one of the cables goes bad or something, you need it replaced, or you need picks, or whatever things you need. We're going to always try to have extra stuff for you so that we can take care of that ahead of time. But you know, if something happens, if one of your you know, if an amp goes bad, something that you need, and we don't have it already taken care of, you can let us know through this. Other would be something we don't have on this list. Consistent late parent pickup. You can put this in here in addition to calling us about it, so that it's, you have a record of it. It's trackable. It's not just going to get lost in the mix. And each one of these things, new student, I think using the form for the new student, if it's somebody who comes to class, they're not on your roster for that class, no real record of them, fill this out. But then if it's not taken care of from us, call us, let us know that this wasn't handled.
We actually had a kid last year who went the entire year, I think it was about February or March, never registered, never paid anything, never did it, never anything. The kid took an instrument home, came to class. Finally, like in February, the mom called here, and she was really upset because she hadn't gotten any of the emails. She wasn't on the email list, and she didn't know about an upcoming concert. And the kid had come the whole time, and I'm like, well, did you ever fill out a registration form? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, how have you made payment? She's like, well, actually, we might owe you money because I don't think we've paid anything. And she had come to class the whole time, and the teacher just jotted it down on the roster. Just said, put the kid's name in. And that was turned in, and it just got overlooked on our side. We just looked, you know, it just was another name on the list. So it wasn't marked specifically that, you know, this kid was not on my roster, so it just kind of never put up a flag that kid needed to register. So definitely, if you get a kid that comes in that is not on your roster, let us know.
Yeah, so you've got that. You've got the drop student who returned the instrument as an issue. If they drop the class, you just put the name, class before, the date, and then right below the student issue in the drop-down thing, the issue details, right in whatever the details of it. But that gives us a quick, centralized way of overseeing all the little issues, dealing with them quickly, having them be accountable. There's a record of all of it. It's much easier to handle. And we can get, you know, we'll let you know when those issues are resolved on our end, either through a Google Talk message, you know, or if it's more urgent, call you, let you know. Whatever, you know, every case is going to be a little bit different on that. I will probably add a few more issues on that, and I'll tweak the form out a little bit to just be as quick to fill out and accurate as possible. But it's already, I mean, we've timed it. Once you have this down, you can do an entire class, you know, with a couple of issues, less than 5 minutes online. So, or if like I said, if you have the fun, you can do it right during, as soon as the class is over, and you're done.
Can I just, and I'm not sure if this is in this part, because, you know, I am in the system, but is that the same place where they're going to say if a parent calls the office and says, we can't find Johnny's violin book, he needs another book? We would let the teacher know that and we would let the teacher know that,
well, we can do that. A lot of that's going to be done through the Google Talk. So that's where you just check that message every day. And then they would report back to us. You're going to report pretty much almost anything on that one.
It's also going to be on their roster, right? So it'll be on the Google Talk and on the roster. But then we need confirmation back here that the child was actually given and the issue was resolved, if it's something that has to be resolved on your end. And then, so if you go and you get the class, and when you put that in as an issue, you know, Johnny was given a new violin book on such and such date, then we can notate that our end, we take the message out, we know it's been resolved. If, you know, a week down later, the secretary will go through and she'll go through everything, comes into one central spreadsheet, and so she can go on Friday and she's going to check everything, see what's unresolved, and then she'll be calling and saying, hey, you know, Johnny was supposed to get a new violin book, were you able to give that to him? yes or no. If it's unresolved, it's gonna show up on next week's roster, get taken